We're live from New Delhi. You're watching DD India Live, India's voice to the world. I'm Lipakshi Khurana, coming up in the next 30 minutes. Israel says ceasefire to resume after carrying out dozens of deadly strikes on Hamas positions, accuses Hamas of violating ceasefire. US President Donald Trump says he's not a king a day after millions of people across the United States take to the streets in No King protest, slamming Trump of authoritarianism and unbridled corruption. United States says it hit Colombian rebel vessel as Colombia condemns Trump's accusations against President Gustavo Petro. Trump to announce major tariffs against Colombia. India's Tanvi Sharma secures silver in women's single at Junior Badminton World Championship in Guwahati. Festival of Lights, Diwali, being celebrated in India and abroad. President Draupadi Murmu, Vice President C.P. Radhakrishnan and Prime Minister Modi extend Diwali greetings on this occasion. And updates first from West Asia. Israel said it had resumed enforcing a Gaza ceasefire after carrying out dozens of deadly strikes on Hamas positions on Sunday, having accused the group of targeting its groups in the most serious violence since the 9-day-old truce began. Well, the Israeli military said it struck Hamas targets in Gaza, including field commanders, gunmen, a tunnel and weapons depots, after Hamas terrorists launched an anti-tank missile and fired on its troops, killing 2 soldiers. Well, the strikes began on Sunday in response to what the Israeli military said in a statement had been a blatant violation of the ceasefire. The IDF later on Sunday said it had renewed enforcement of the ceasefire but vowed to respond firmly to any violation of it. Meanwhile, Israeli security source said the aid into Gaza was set to resume on Monday following US pressure. Earlier, Israel has closed its crossing points into Gaza to aid convoys, accusing Hamas of breaking a truce. Well, the first phase of the US-brokered ceasefire deal, which started on 10th of October, saw an immediate end to fighting, the partial withdrawal of Israeli troops to a so-called yellow line along the north, east and south of Gaza, and an increase of aid. Hamas has released all living hostages as well as the remains of 12 out of 28 of those deceased. Well, large crowds of people were seen surrounding the convoy carrying released Israeli hostage Elkanah Bohobot and his family as he returned home on Sunday. Well, Elkanah returned to Israel under a US-brokered plan in which Hamas was supposed to release all 20 hostages still alive and 28 deceased captives to Israel. Elkanah Bohobot thanked everyone waiting for him outside his house. As the mass crowd chanted his name, Bohobot recited a prayer thanking God and the people for their unwavering support. Families of another released hostages, Eviatar David and Eventathan Orr, delivered a statement on Sunday saying their loved ones are well and thanked the public for their support. Eli David, the brother of Eviatar David, said the fight is not over and that they will continue fighting till the last hostage returns. US President Trump's nominee for Ambassador at Large for International Religious Freedom, Mark Walker, met freed Israeli hostage Keith Sagil and the father of deceased Israeli hostage Itay Chen, Ruby Chen, in Tel Aviv on Sunday. During the meeting, Walker said he has faith in Trump's administration to keep a close eye on the fragile ceasefire and not let it go sideways. Meanwhile, hundreds gathered in Jerusalem on Sunday to bid farewell to Uriel Baruch, an Israeli hostage whose body was returned to Israel recently. Baruch was kidnapped from the Nova Music Festival in southern Israel in October 2023. In March 2024, his family was informed that he was killed on October 7th and his body was held in Gaza. Baruch was returned to Israel on October 14th as part of a US-led ceasefire. And in a Fox News interview with American journalist Mario Bartiromo, US President Donald Trump asserted, "I'm not a king," following massive No Kings protest where millions rallied against his perceived authoritarianism and corruption. The third wave of such a protest since his January 2025 inauguration. There has been friction between the citizens and the administration in over 10 months. The Trump administration has escalated immigration enforcement with mass deportations, reassigning thousands of federal agents and boosting funding by $170 billion amid record immigration and custom enforcement detainees' death. It slashed 4,200 federal jobs and cut over $1.3 billion federal government funding to institutions like Harvard, UCLA and Columbia over pro-Palestinian protest. While on trade, Trump reimposed 100% tariffs, equating to around 155 to 157%, retaliating against China's rare earth controls. And the United States says it hit Colombian rebel vessel. US President Donald Trump called Colombian President Gustavo Petro an illegal drug leader and said payments to the South American nation would cease, while Defense Secretary Hicksett said US forces had hit a vessel associated with a Colombian rebel group. Trump's comments marked a new low in relations between Bogota and Washington since his administration launched a series of strikes on vessels allegedly transporting drugs in the Caribbean. Well, the U.S. president said the United States would stop large-scale payments and subsidies to Colombia. Republican Senator Lindsey Graham hinted that Trump will soon announce major tariffs on the country. And Colombian President Petro called Trump's remark rude and ignorant. Colombia's foreign ministry condemned Trump's remarks as offensive and a direct threat to its sovereignty and vowed to seek international support in defense of Petro and the country's autonomy. Meanwhile, Colombia's defense minister Pedro Sanchez defended Petro, stating that Colombia has intensified its own offensive on drugs in the past year.
Any statement made against the President of the Republic describing him in those terms is disrespectful to Colombia. He is democratically elected President of Colombians, and as a Minister of Defense, I can fully attest to all his efforts to neutralize drug trafficking.
Well, Bolivians on Sunday elected a pro-business center-right senator as the new president. It ended 2 decades of socialist rule that have left the South American nation deep in economic crisis. Also, the Supreme Electoral Tribunal said with 97% of ballots counted, Rodrigo Paz has 54.5% of the vote compared to interim President Jorge Teodoro Quironga, who got 45.4%. Well, Paz, the 58-year-old son of a former president, has vowed a capitalism for all approach to economic reform with decentralization, lower taxes and fiscal discipline mixed with continued social spending. Sunday's election closes out an economic experiment marked by initial prosperity funded by Morales' nationalization of gas reserves. Paz will not have a party majority in Congress, meaning he will need to make concessions to get laws passed. Well, outside of Congress, the new president will also face stiff opposition from Morales, who remains popular, especially among the indigenous Bolivians, but was constitutionally barred from seeking another term. And U.S. Vice President J.D. Vance told reporters that President Donald Trump has not yet made a decision on whether to provide Ukraine with Tomahawk missiles. Trump pushed Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky to give up swaths of territory to Russia during a tense meeting on Friday and left the Ukrainian delegation disappointed. Trump also declined to provide Tomahawk missiles for Ukraine's use and mused about giving security guarantees to both Kyiv and Moscow, comments that the Ukrainian delegation found very confusing. Vance said Trump is trying to bring peace, and that is what is in America's best interest.
What was the calculation in not providing those Tomahawks to Ukraine at this time? Well, the President of the United States is trying to ensure that America's security is taken care of first, and obviously that means that we need to have the critical weapon systems for our own military, for our own troops. So that's what the president is focused on. And as with all the decisions that he's made related to Russia and Ukraine, he's trying to bring peace because he thinks that's what's in America's best interest. If he thinks that it's in America's best interest to sell additional weapons to Europe, he will do that. But right now, he hasn't made that decision with regards to Tomahawks.
And Britain's embattled Prince Andrew was splashed on the front pages of the country's newspapers on Sunday in the second day of negative headlines after he was forced to give up his Duke of York title. Well, Prince Andrew asked police in 2011 to dig up personal information about Virginia Giuffre, the woman who accused him of actually abusing her as a teenager, a British newspaper reported on Sunday. Andrew, the younger brother of King Charles, said on Friday he would no longer use his title, following years of criticism about his behavior in connection to Jeffrey Epstein. He said the accusations were a distraction from the work of the King and the Royals. Sunday's report, however, suggests the move has failed to contain the scandal. And still to come in this edition of DD India Live. Moderate Tufan Ar-Rahman triumphs in Turkish Cypriot presidential election, paving the way for renewed peace talks. Cargo plane skids off runway into sea at Hong Kong airport, 2 dead in tragic accident. And Diwali sparkles with tradition. Artisans illuminate the festival with craftsmanship and culture.
Near the heart of India, a land filled with surprises. In the mighty force of your waters, you hold the deepest secrets that take us back in time. When it's said that the gods walk this land, this is where we feel the warmth of your faces. See hands that mold life. While embracing change, you grow. In you is the land that gives, creates, nurtures, grows, and builds. It's all in you. Come, experience.
Welcome back. You're watching DD India Live. I'm Lipakshi Khurana, and moving on, a moderate candidate won Turkish Cypriot presidential elections on Sunday, defeating a hardliner in a pivotal vote that could help revive stalled UN talks on reunifying Cyprus. Well, the centre-left politician Tufan Ar-Rahman sailed to victory with 62.8% of the votes, defeating incumbent Ersin Tatar. Ar-Rahman, a lawyer, has pledged to explore a federal solution long supported by the United Nations to end the island's nearly 50-year division. Well, Tatar and Turkey, the only country which recognizes breakaway North Cyprus, had backed a two-state policy which has been ruled out by Greek Cypriots. Tatar, who came to power in 2020, received 35.8% of the vote. And a cargo plane flying from Dubai skidded off the runway into the sea while landing at Hong Kong International Airport, which resulted in 2 deaths. Well, the Hong Kong International Airport said that the northern runway at the airport is closed after the incident, while the south and central runways would continue to operate. The 4 crew members on board were rescued, the international airport said in a statement. 2 people who were inside a ground vehicle near the runway that was suspected to have been struck by the aircraft have died. And South Korea's Gyeongju gears up for the APEC summit from October 31st to November 1st amid uncertainty over US President Donald Trump's attendance following South Korea's political turmoil with Yoon Suk-yeol's impeachment and Lee Jae-myung's leadership. Despite this, Trump is slated to visit Seoul October 29 to 30th with a potential Xi Jinping meeting to address escalating trade tensions, including Trump's 100% tariff threat and China's rare earth curbs. And President Draupadi Murmu has extended greetings to her fellow citizens on the eve of Diwali. In a message, the President said, and I quote, "Diwali, one of India's most popular festivals, is celebrated with great zeal and enthusiasm. The festival symbolizes the triumph of light over darkness, knowledge over ignorance, and good over evil." Celebrated across the country with immense fervour, the auspicious occasion of Diwali gives the message of mutual affection and brotherhood. On this day, devotees worship Goddess Lakshmi, the deity of wealth and prosperity. This festival of joy is also an occasion for self-reflection and self-improvement. This festival is also an opportunity to help and support the deprived and the needy and to bring joy into their lives. I urge everyone to celebrate Diwali safely, responsibly and in an environment-friendly manner. May this Diwali bring happiness, peace and prosperity to all. Unquote. Well, also, the Vice President of India, C.P. Radhakrishnan, has greeted the people on the auspicious occasion of Diwali. In a message, Vice President said that Diwali celebrates the triumph of goodness over evil and knowledge over ignorance. He said that Diwali is a time when the values of generosity, charity and inclusivity, deeply ingrained in our civilizational ethos, shine forth as we share and extend our support to the needy and underprivileged sections of the society. He further said that as we celebrate Diwali, we must all shun negativity in dharma and embrace positivity in dharma, not only for our individual good, but also for the overall progress of the nation. The Vice President added that akin to the diyas lit in every home collectively, illuminating the night skies on this festival, our dedication and commitment should together usher in collective growth for Bharat. Also, Prime Minister Modi, in a social media post on X, greeted the citizens on the festive occasion of Diwali, the Festival of Lights. Prime Minister in the post hoped that this Festival of Lights illuminate our lives with harmony, happiness and prosperity, and may the spirit of positivity prevail all around us. Prime Minister urged the citizens to mark this festive season by celebrating the hard work, creativity and innovation of 140 crore Indians and buy Indian products and say, "Gar se kaho, yeh Swadeshi hai." And as India readies to celebrate the Festival of Lights, the festive fervour has reached its peak. With just a day to go, streets across major cities are bursting with life, glowing rows of diyas, stalls stacked with sweets and shop fronts glittering with decorative lights and ethnic wear. Well, the historical significance of Diwali lies in its celebration of the triumph of good over evil, a timeless story that resonates across India in countless ways. For many Hindus, it marks the joyous return of Lord Ram to Ayodhya after vanquishing the demon king Ravan. The day is also dedicated to Goddess Lakshmi, symbolizing wealth and prosperity, believed by some to be her wedding day with Lord Vishnu and by others, the day she emerged from the cosmic ocean. However, this year's celebrations come with a strong environmental reminder. Supreme Court lifts blanket ban on firecrackers, but only green crackers approved by National Environmental Engineering Research Institute are permitted. Allowed bursting time is between 6 to 7 a.m. and 8 to 10 p.m. on October 19th and 20th. 168 temporary licenses have been issued for sale in Delhi. Retailers must dispose of unsold stock within 2 days after Diwali. Shops selling banned crackers face closure and license loss. Delhi police to lead intensive patrols ensure compliance. And as Diwali illuminates India with the world with vibrant lights and heartfelt traditions, artisans breathe life into the festival spirit. From glowing diyas to intricate rangolis and delectable sweets, their craftsmanship celebrates heritage and community. DD India's Antara Sinha gets you this special report.
Diwali, the festival of lights. It isn't just a celebration. It's a tapestry woven carefully by each and every artisan that puts their heart, mind and soul into each and every creation. In this presentation, let's dive into the lives of artisans who make this festival as magical as it is. The festival of Diwali is a time when every corner sparkles with joy, tradition and creativity. Diwali is celebrated by millions across India and globally. It is a time of light, love and renewal. At its heart are the artisans, the gifted craftspeople who pour their passion into crafting the cherished symbols of Diwali, embodying the spirit of vocal for local by showcasing India's rich heritage through their art. From the vibrant rangoli patterns that dance across doorsteps to the delicate diyas that cast a warm golden glow in homes, each creation tells a story of artistry and tradition. Every diya, every sweet, every rangoli is a testament to India's artisans, the backbone of Diwali. We are celebrating these artisans today. These artisans don't merely craft objects, they breathe life into centuries-old practices. Every swirl of paint, every molded piece of clay is a labor of love that connects families and communities during Diwali.
दिवाली का फेस्टिवल के लिए हमारे पास सारे मोम के दिए लक्ष्मी गणेश कलकत्ता से और लखनऊ से आगरा से सारी जगह हमारे बेस्ट अच्छे कारीगर बैठे हुए हैं. हम वहाँ से माल लेकर आते हैं.
इसको बनाने में लाइक जैसे 2 या फिर 4 आवर्स लग जाते हैं इसको बनाने में, क्योंकि पहले ये पेंट होता है, फिर इस पे मतलब बहुत से ऐसे काम वाम होते हैं, जैसे पीछे हो रहा है गोल्डन वगैरह कर रहे हैं इस पे ब्रश के हेल्प से.
आजकल लोग दिए नहीं, घर के लिए सजावट के लिए भी सब सामान लेते हैं, तो अच्छा लगता है. हमारी मेहनत भी होती है उसमें, हमारे को अच्छा भी लगता है कि लोगों को भी पसंद आती है.
And it's not just diyas. Rangoli artists bring flows to life with bursts of color, while sweet makers craft delectable treats like laddus and jalebis that make Diwali extra sweet.
हर साल आते लेके जाते हैं यहाँ से खूब सामान, अच्छा मिलता है सामान, हर साल नए देखने को मिलता है.
यही आइटम आप अगर मॉल्स और उसमें लेने जाएंगे, जो आइटम यहाँ पर आपको अवेलेबल 200-250 मैक्सिमम 500 रेंज का मिलेगा, और वहाँ पर जाके वही आइटम जो है 5000 तक भी जा सकता है.
These tireless potters, painters and confectioners are the unsung heroes behind Diwali's brilliance. Their handcrafted treasures, a vibrant reminder of the beauty of community, creativity and the vocal for local movement that honors India's artisanal legacy. This Diwali, as you celebrate with your loved ones, share sweets with your loved ones, decorate your homes with diyas and rangolis, let's take a moment to celebrate each and every artisan that makes this festival even more special. A very happy Diwali to all of you. With camera person Vinod Ojha, this is Antara Sinha for DD India.
Well, Union Railway Minister Ashwini Vaishnaw is in New Delhi as he inspected the crowd management for better arrangements. Railway Minister Vaishnaw inspected the festive arrangements at New Delhi and Anand Vihar Railway Station ahead of Diwali and Chhath Puja as he interacted with passengers and reviewed preparations to ensure smooth travel. Well, Union Minister Vaishnaw further urged people not to share old misleading videos online and warned of action against those spreading misinformation.
पूरे देश भर में जो बहुत बड़े सेंटर्स हैं जहां पे एक साथ सडन पैसेंजर्स का सर्ज आता है, चाहे वो साउथ में हो, वेस्ट में हो, सब जगह बहुत बड़ी मात्रा में व्यवस्था की गई है. और मैं रिक्वेस्ट करूंगा सभी सिविल सोसाइटी के मेंबर्स से भी कि ऐसे में जो बीच बीच में भ्रामक वीडियो और पुराने वीडियो को चलाकर लोगों में एक भ्रम की स्थिति पैदा करने की कोशिश करते हैं, वैसा न करें।
Well, the Festival of Lights has arrived and Dubai is aglow with joy and celebration as residents and visitors mark Diwali with traditional fervour and cultural vibrancy. Streets, markets and landmarks across the city have come alive with lights, music and festive decor, capturing the essence of the Indian festival that symbolises the triumph of good light over darkness. In Dubai, fondly known as Mini India, rows of traditional lamps and shimmering decorations adorn shop fronts and buildings, creating a festive spectacle. Local stores are witnessing brisk business as shoppers pick up ethnic wear, jewellery, sweets and handcrafted decor items. Gold markets have also reported a surge in visitors following Dhanteras, the auspicious day for purchasing precious metals. While fireworks remain tightly regulated across the UAE, designated areas such as Dubai Creek and Global Village are hosting official displays this evening, promising a safe yet spectacular visual treat for the public. In Abu Dhabi, the Babs Hindu Mandir is at the heart of the festivities, welcoming devotees for special Diwali prayers and rituals, blending tradition with Dubai's cosmopolitan flair. This year's Diwali once again reflects the Emirates' spirit of unity and inclusivity. And in sports and badminton, Indian shuttler Tanvi Sharma settled for silver at Junior World Championship after losing girls' single final in Guwahati. She lost to Thailand's second seed Anyapat Pichi Prasar 7-15, 12-15. All right, that's all for this edition of DD India Live. But let us know your thoughts on the news of the day. For those on the go, you can get all the latest news and updates from India across the world in the DD India mobile app. The app is available on both Android and iOS platforms. Scan the QR code on the screen to download now. We'll be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. I'm Lipakshi Khurana, and from all of us here at DD India, a very happy Diwali to all of you.